Good morning, Year 4. Welcome to our English today. Right, retrieval. Let's warm our brains up. Label each of the clauses in the sentence below as either main, M, or subordinate, S. You don't have to write it out, just pause the video and have a think which is which. Okay, right, so let's look at the first sentence. When the bell rang, we dashed into the playground and we started a game of football. So there are three clauses here. When the bell rang, we dashed into the playground, we started a game of football. Here we have a conjunction. What's the clue for telling us whether something is a subordinate clause? If you spotted the subordinate conjunction when, you're right. This is the subordinate clause. Just because it's at the beginning doesn't mean it's a main clause. Also, the big clue with the subordinate clause is it does not make sense on its own. When the bell rang, needs something else. It needs something with it. We dashed into the playground. That's a main clause. It makes sense on its own. It could be a simple sentence. We started a game of football. What do you think? Main clause. Makes sense on its own. Could be a simple sentence. So well done for having a go at that. Okay, this is the next page from the promise. I'm going to read it to you. I want you to think about what has happened. And then, one night, I met an old lady down a dark street. She was frail and alone, an easy victim. Her bag was fat and full, but when I tried to snatch it from her, she held on with the strength of heroes. Let's unpick that a little bit. What's she done? She tried to snatch a bag. So she's trying to steal something, isn't she? But what's different this time? Because we know that she's stolen things before. She's picked on the frail, so the weak, the person who's alone, an easy victim. So she's thinking about her as a victim, as somebody that she can attack. She's seen that her bag is full of money, full of things that she might need to use. But when I tried to snatch it from her, she held on with the strength of heroes. So this actual victim was not so frail. She was strong. So from this, you're going to write a newspaper report. Now, we've not written a newspaper report this year, so we're going to spend some time looking at the features of a report. Okay? Now, the purpose of your report will be to inform the reader, and your audience are readers of the paper. You're going to inform and shock them about this terrible crime, this theft that has happened, but this old woman who attacked back with the strength of heroes. So I just want you to have a look at this newspaper report. I want you to pause the video and have a read through yourself. And when you've read it, unpause the video and we're going to watch a video that's going to identify the features of a newspaper report. So what we should find in every report. So pause and read.
This is a newspaper. Its job is to tell us about the things that are happening in the world. Newspapers always have big writing on the front page. What's the headline today? Lion eats lion timer! Oh, sorry about that. The headlines are there to grab our attention, so they're quite loud. Let's move on to the more colourful bits. What's this? Lion escapes after 10 years in a circus. The caption on this picture helps us work out what the picture's showing us and tells us a bit more about the story. Most of the pages are taken up with smaller words, and they tell us the full story. Newspapers have lots of tricks to tell stories in an interesting way, like facts and opinions, and the super useful 5 W's. Who, what, why, where, and when. So, did they find the lion? No, I think it's still...
Okay, so that was a very quick summary of a newspaper, and hopefully lots of you have seen newspaper reports before. So although they spoke about 5 W's there, we're just going to focus on 4. So the who, what, where, and when. So we're going to have a look for those first. So, who? Oh, get a highlighter for this. So this should be in the initial paragraph, okay? So, who? Last Friday, the 4th of May, a purse was forcefully snatched by a teenage misfit in Southampton. There she is. A teenage misfit. The victim, an elderly, incredibly vulnerable veteran who barely escaped with her life. So we've got two who's here. We've got this teenage misfit, the girl in the picture who's stolen the purse, and we've also got the victim. Okay? So, what have they done? Well, we've already answered that, haven't we? A purse was forcefully snatched. Okay? Where did this take place? Did anybody spot where it took place? Yes, Southampton. Well done. And when did it take place? Good. Last Friday, the 4th of May, which is, yes, if you spotted it, a fronted adverbial. Brilliant. Well done. So in that first paragraph, we have got all the key: who, what, where, and when. So now the reader knows exactly what the whole of the article is going to be about. So there are other features down here as well, and I'm going to go through just a couple of them, not all of them. The first one I want to go through is direct speech, because it's not something we've done too much this year. So I'm going to read through the rest of the article, and I want you to see if you can find out where there is direct speech. And we think about direct speech as a quote, usually. It is believed that the aggressor, wearing a brown and blue checked shirt with torn jeans, had been stealing at night in the city for several weeks, according to a middle-aged man from Southampton area. I have seen this thief steal on many occasions. It is the police's responsibility to put a stop to these awful crimes. Okay. Now, we have got some direct speech here, and we can see the inverted commas around the speech, so we know that that's speech. Okay, and it was reported by a middle-aged man from the Southampton area. Okay, so we've not given a name. We're going to be fairly general about it. Okay, I'll carry on. It is a well-known fact that the city of Southampton has had a problem with homeless teenagers for many years now. They seem to rob from its citizens in order to buy food to survive. Since the crime, the mugger has not been seen. The assailant is now on a desperate run, and according to one eyewitness, she was last seen rushing in the direction of the train station. It is further believed that the girl, thought to be local, chose her victim because of her age. However, an almighty tussle took place before the girl, vulgar and repulsive, finally ran off with the valuable purse. The elderly lady seemed to possess superhuman strength. I thought the delinquent was going to give up. A key witness from Hampshire. Okay, so a key witness from Hampshire has given us this quote, this statement. And then we've got a caption down here. The upsetting moment captured by a witness's mobile phone camera. Reported by E. Gooley. Okay, so we've got some direct speech here, which you're going to use in your report. We've got lots and lots of fronted adverbials here. Okay, so newspaper reports are really great for this. We've got this one here. We've already come through. We've got since the crime, so it's telling us when. We have got a few more. Can you see any? According to a middle-aged man from the Southampton area. Who? Okay. So there are lots and lots of things in there. Did you spot the complex sentence, actually, before I go on? Did you spot any complex sentences? Have a look. Yeah. An almighty tussle took place before the girl finally ran off with the valuable purse. We've got one there. Can you see any more? Have a look when you read through. Apostrophes for plural. I'm running out of colours here. We spoke down here about police's responsibility. We've got an apostrophe there because it's the responsibility of the police. Okay, so we've got an apostrophe here. Okay, coordinating conjunctions. Did you spot any of those? spot any of those? I had one a minute ago, I've lost it now. The assailant is now on a desperate run, and according to one eyewitness, she was last seen rushing in the direction of the train station. So we've got our compound conjunction and. And I have just spotted another complex sentence. It is further believed that the girl chose her victim because of her age. So we've got because, our complex conjunction there. Okay. So your task today is very similar to what we've just done. If you're going for bronze challenge, you might want to get somebody to help you read this, but you've got a slightly slimmed down newspaper report. I want you to underline who. So if you could underline who, I can do it here, in a colour. And then you could underline where it talks about who the report is about in the same colour. Okay, so you're going to go through those and you're going to find them in the text. Silver, you've got the newspaper report that we've just read, and you have got a key here. Not only have you got to find who, what, where and when, but you've got the features to find here as well. Remember, a pronoun is I, she, he, they. Okay. Gold, what you've got to do, slightly more difficult, I've left your key empty. So I want you to create a key for this newspaper report. So you might also want to leave this slide up for you to help you work that out. Okay, tomorrow we're going to start planning our own report and then we're going to write it. So make sure you really get to grips with what a newspaper report is and the features that you can find in it. Goodbye, Year 4.